Want to get better at finishing your creative projects? Want to be more focused and productive? Want to have an endless stream of creativity and motivation to work forever? That last one actually doesn't exist, but we can get close. If you don't know me yet, I'm Dave and I'm an artist and a designer. And back around 2018, I made a decision to bring these two concentrations closer together. From personal experience, it's really difficult to do unless you are consistent. And it didn't take me very long to figure out that if I wanted to succeed, then I was going to need to focus on these consistencies that I was missing, that I wanted to add, but I needed to work on. Today I'm going to talk about 5 habits that I've adapted to keep me focused and creatively charged. Number 1, a daily art practice. See this book? This book has saved my life recently. I know when some people hear the phrase daily art practice, they start to freak out a little bit because it seems so overwhelming to focus on doing art every single day. But the thing is, a lot of people think about it incorrectly. They think that they have to finish something every single day. Finish a painting, finish a page in their sketchbook, take tons of photos just so they can come up with one that they can share on their Instagram every single day. That's not required. What is required is to just get into whatever it is that you're doing, to do it a little bit so that you can refresh your mind every single day what it feels like to work on something creative. Or you may be thinking about the different art challenges that you can participate in, like the 100-day challenge or Inktober or any of the ones that are monthly, or even the ones that even go like 1 year of daily drawing. Sure, these work. I mean, I've done plenty of these art challenges myself. Challenges are great for sprints, but I don't necessarily recommend them all the time because they kind of create this idea that you have to finish something every single day. And it creates a lot of angst and anxiety within people because they just feel like if they can't keep up, they're going to give up. And if they give up, there's a chance they might not get back to it. I believe it's more important to stop focus on timelines and stop focusing on finished projects every single day, to just focus on spending some time doing the creative thing that you want to do every day so that it invigorates your mind and doesn't bother with the idea of like a schedule that you have to fit your work into. I started this art journal somewhere around April of last year, and then I fell off of it because I was just like, there was so much stuff going on, I was just like, I'm gonna put it on the back burner. But I jumped back into it recently, and some of the work that I've been doing lately has been really interesting and eye-opening to me as far as the things that the work that I'm doing in other places, the work that I'm doing digitally, all of the work that I have created in the past has been inspired by stuff that I've done in this journal. I do try to get to it every single day, and I do finish a single page every day because these can be knocked out pretty quickly. They don't take me a whole lot of time, and they're really rough and tumble. There's like just regular, school glue mixed with tape and some scraps that I've put together. So there's not a lot of crazy effort, but the output of creativity that I get from it, it helps build upon my day. And most importantly, if I didn't finish a particular page on any given day, I would just come back to it and do it the next day. Habit number 2. Just-in-time learning. The idea with just-in-time learning is to learn something and then go test the process. And to give you an example is that in the last video I talked about how I wanted to be better at my productivity. So I started to go watch a bunch of videos of different people who talk about productivity in a way that, that kind of jived with my style and what I wanted to, and not get overwhelmed by all the processes and data and everything that usually goes with some of these productivity systems. I learned the new things, and then I took action to practice these new things. And the things that I wanted to keep doing, I kept, and the things that didn't really suit me, I just pushed them aside. But I might eventually, so I hold them someplace so that I can pull from them later. If I ever find gaps in whatever it is that I need to do, then I just go back and I study some more, and then I take what I learned and implement it back into the strategy that I've already been working on. And if there's a concept or process that maybe I'm not getting, then I need to make a decision. I can either press harder and see if I can't figure it out, or I can quit. I don't want to get caught up trying to force myself into a new idea just because I feel like I need to get this thing. Maybe that process isn't going to work for me, never will, and that's just gonna slow me down. Take the good stuff, spit out the bad stuff. Let's move on. Number 3, exploration of new ideas. I had a friend come over to the house the other day, another designer that I know. Somehow I got stumbled onto the idea about this book and the other books that I've made like this called Brad Scrap, and basically these are just kind of clip art, but in large format. And as soon as he saw those, it kind of blew his mind a little bit, and he was like, got inspired by it himself, and he told me, Dave, you really should be focusing your energy on this stuff. Like, this is so you. And of course I do make these things. I mean, you can buy those books on Amazon right now, but I don't really put a lot of energy into sharing them with other people. He thought this was a direct extension of who I am and that I should probably push my energy more towards that. So now I'm exploring that newish idea. But I want to show you another guy that I just stumbled across named Pavel Ripley. I stumbled across his account on Instagram, and he was showing off these journal pages that he was doing, and my mind was blown. These are like no other journal pages I've seen anybody make. It's a quick reminder, this is the kind of journal page that I've been making lately. I mean, these are not like that. And that's okay, because these are mine and those are his. But there is one here, this one right here, that I made as I was inspired by Pavel's work. The point isn't to do exactly what Pavel's doing. The point is to kind of extract some information from Pavel and then implement it into the work that I've already been doing so that it can take me into new territory. Go seek out new information from others, bring it back home, use it in my own work, create derivatives, and then put all that new stuff out in the world in new ways that maybe those things inspire somebody else to go do the same. Let's talk about those two things right there. Yes, it's still sitting up on the shelf. No, I did not finish it. Is it still sticky and weird? Yeah, I think I messed it up. But that's okay, because I made this one a long time ago, and I think I messed this one up too, but I'm kind of fond of it now. This one was my very first art assemblage. All of these elements I found on the beach, and then I brought them home, and then I turned them into this. It's weird, it's clunky. I had it inside the house, and my wife was like, I don't like it that much, but it's still, I love it. Not because of, how it looks, but because of where it's gonna take me. And think about what I did here years ago and what I did here just a couple months ago. What happens next? I can't wait to find out. How is this a habit, Dave? The more times I've jumped headfirst into a new project, the more often I want to jump in to the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. The thing is that I promised myself that I wouldn't be doing any boring work anymore. Not that either one of those things are boring, they're actually really quite interesting to me, but I have to constantly remind myself to step it up, to go the next level, to really think about what is something that's gonna make a bigger impact. How can I affect other human beings with the work that I'm doing? Either through the message that gets conveyed with that, or by inspiring them to make new things themselves. Perhaps not surprising, that aspect right there is the most difficult part of establishing that creative habit. Number 4, time management. Again, back in the last video, I talked about how I wanted to be more productive and I wanted to force myself into a scheduled productivity thing. I watched the videos, I invested my time in learning how to use the software, and everything's been going pretty good. Sorta, mostly. The process is ongoing. The beauty so far has been I'm following through on the habits that I'm trying to create. And I don't mean just the creative habits that I'm doing, but like the simple things like going to work out, drinking more water, doing my daily art journal, reading books. As soon as I started to establish those simple habits on a daily basis, the rest of my schedule seemed to be pretty achievable. If I can go to the gym on a regular basis, and if I can drink plenty of water on a regular basis, then I should be able to film my videos on a scheduled timeline. I should be able to make sure I'm doing the art and putting it up into the world. I should be able to manage this stuff, but there's always going to be gaps. There's going to be things that fall through, like say for instance a video that didn't get put out the day that it was supposed to. I have to give myself flexibility in that schedule to allow for airflow. If they don't happen exactly when they're supposed to happen, it's not the end of the world. I don't have to kill myself over it. But the structure is there just enough to keep me in check so that I don't get too far behind. Which brings me to the final idea. Number 5, giving myself grace. This is the big one. There are plenty of times when things don't go as planned. I just have to shake them off. If I feel too overwhelmed, time to eliminate the excess. If I feel compelled to dive deep into a creative project and push other things aside, well then those things just they need to wait. If my video didn't come out exactly when I thought it was supposed to, that's okay. I'm sure you're still gonna watch it and you're gonna share it with all of your friends, right? Guys, I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I need all the help I can get. Go share this with all your friends. Thank you very much. If you're like me, then you probably take on this idea that if I don't finish the things that I said I was gonna finish, then the rest of the world will not take me seriously ever again. Nobody else's life is gonna be damaged if I don't make my personal deadlines. That said, I need to remain accountable, at least to myself. Prioritize where I'm putting my energy, and also, really figure out, like, am I going too deep on my schedule? Can I eliminate some of that stuff to make it better for me? And if I find myself falling off the wagon on any of my habits, well, I'll just pick myself up and carry on like nothing ever happened. And another thing that I want to make sure that I give myself grace on is I don't want to add too many habits on top of themselves, because just because I'm doing really good with these habits over here, if I just keep adding new habits because I think I can handle it, well then that's just adding to the problem. Until I become an expert, until I become fluid with all of these other habits, I'm gonna hold off on adding too many more. But there is one habit that I definitely wanna add back into my workflow, and that is building upon bigger ideas. If you wanna know what I'm talking about, then you're gonna wanna watch this video right here. All of these habits that I've talked about here are things that I can expand on further, but what I want you to do is go down to the comments below and tell me which ones do you wanna talk about most. While you're down there, make sure you give that like button a hearty click for me, okay? Thank you very much. Okay, that's it guys. I've been Dave, you've been awesome. I'll see you next time.